I wrote a story sober. Isn't that unexpected and also kind of cool? Hey everyone, Sympathy for the Quarians, aka Andrew Walker, aka Stephen Veach here, and let's talk about Galactic Atlas, the first short story I've ever published not under the influence of booze or weed. This story is a straightforward adaptation of the 2004 novel Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell, one of my two favorite books of all time, along with Station 11. So, what is it about this story that works so well? Cloud Atlas, that is, not my own story, Galactic Atlas. Well, Cloud Atlas tells a centuries long story through many different perspectives, but it does so in a way that connects all of the characters together in a neat little logical bow. And unique among a lot of literature, I know, like, even if you don't get the deeper subtext of it, it's still a fun read. Like, it's very accessible to people of all reading levels, and that's one of the reasons that I love it so much. Now, as for my own work, Galactic Atlas, I wanted to do a same sort of story that Cloud Atlas did, a story spanning multiple cycles where, spoilers, by the way, just in case you hadn't figured it out, the main character is reincarnated through these different people. In the first reincarnation, they are a member of a protectorate species of Leviathans. If you remember the Leviathan DLC, in the time before the Reapers, the Leviathans directly monitored and controlled organics and cared for them, quote unquote. And so that's sort of where the Durrani come from. Next, I wanted to dive into the Inusanan, which we really know nothing about. So I just basically had a blank slate. I decided to make them theocratic because I think that's not something that we've seen a whole lot of in the Mass Effect universe. Like, other than the Hanar, there aren't really any intensely religious species. So I thought that was a cool track to take. Then we come to Javik. I had to make Javik a bit older here because I wanted him to experience the entirety of the Reaper cycle, but it still works because there's no canon age for Protheans. And I really like what I was able to do with him, because even though he failed in a way, the reincarnation did not. Now, the fourth reincarnation of the leader of the Akaben is the one who ultimately leads them to victory. And finally, in the future of the galaxy, we see that even without the Reapers, synthesis is ultimately inevitable, which I think fits nicely with Mass Effect's themes. Now, 2 points of ambiguity here that I kind of kept ambiguous are: who was the resurrected in the future galaxy section? And what exactly does synthesis entail without the Reapers? I'm going to go ahead and keep the resurrection of the future of the galaxy part a bit ambiguous because I think it kind of works better that way. But to answer with synthesis, I'm not necessarily sure I agree with Casey Hudson's contention that organics and synthetics necessarily are destined to conflict with each other. But I think if you do synthesis in a certain way, it's a very thematically fitting ending when you have AIs and organics in the same setting. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the work. I'm surprised I was able to write it so quickly, given how much trouble I had making it coherent. But I hope you enjoy it as well. Galactic Atlas, based on one of my favorite novels of all time, Cloud Atlas.